The room's dimly lit by some lamps that are in the shapes of skulls with little candles burning inside them around the walls.
The individual use of fantasy can be a more positive thing than just responding to a film. There's a growing popularity for fantasy role-playing games.
Yes, you get a very strong sense of evil
coming from back straight away.
coming from this direction over here, running in a line down that way.
My cleric, bring me up, the cleric.
Okay.
He might be handy against evil.
Three of the players round the table have taken on roles of cleric, wizard and fighting dwarf. They face dangers in a dungeon of many chambers, with monsters and perils created and manipulated by the dungeon master.
Around the wall are stood these figures.
Oh dear.
They're perfectly immobile. It looks like an armoury such as you see in the Tower of London, with just suits of armour standing around. Not very quickly, they're moving sort of almost mechanically.
Almost mechanically.
He's trying to retreat.
I think he's got a hand here with all that.
He's trying to retreat. They're moving towards him.
Okay, he's trying to get out.
This will he can strike a blow as he's retreating.
Yeah.
Right. 19.
He's hit it. That one slumps to the ground.
Right.
And it's still your initiative, so are there any...
Yeah, my cleric will come forward with his holy symbol in his hand and command them, in the name of all that's good and just, to return and repent their evil ways.
Okay, roll 2 6-sided dice.
12.
Yes, they all fall back. All those figures retreat and seem to be drawing away from your holy symbol. And they go back against the wall.
Okay. Move towards the door at the end. Seems to be clear of them. We don't really want to go through them.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be very much in this room.
No.
Well, okay, actually, before you get there, this door bursts open and this figure comes storming through. He doesn't look too pleased at what you've done to his minions.
We don't look too pleased at him.
He's a tall figure in black robes. You can see he's wearing black plate armour underneath the robes.
He looks nasty.
I'll
command him to sleep.
Doesn't he?
You command him to sleep?
Yeah.
There's no reaction, nothing happens.
I think I'll pop my head round the corner and try and charm him. I'll say to him, tell your suits of armour to get back to the walls.
He says something in a strange language, and
We've got him.
We've got him.
There's a boom today in these role-playing fantasy games. It's called the sword and sorcery cult. People are turning themselves into wizards and demons, knights and clerics, and a bewildering variety of mythical figures, and going through medieval adventures equipped with magical powers.
Every game needs a dungeon master, who must draw up a dungeon, much as the one there. And they populate it, they have ideas, imagination, and it's a game in which you just sort of bring together all bits of ideas and imaginations that you've got from books.
And where do you get the monsters from?
Well, a lot of monsters are detailed in the rule book, but people tend to make up their own ones to suit their own situations and what they want to get from the game.
You actually become the character you're playing. Instead of saying that the character does so and so, you actually say I, and mean it. I go to the door, I listen at the door. And when you are in extreme danger, you feel it and you get scared.
And the main appeal of the game really is that it's so much like living in a real fantasy world. It's the nearest thing you can possibly get. Like reading a novel is something like Dungeons and Dragons, but you've still got, it's only a book. It's still only a piece of paper in front of you, whereas this is a lot more realistic. And you can actually die. You personally can actually die in this game.
It can release some of your inattention. It releases some of the bottled up passions you got inside you, some of the hatred all of us have inside us. Makes it easier to live, easier to get on with people, because you get rid of your frustrations that way. Instead of going out on the streets and hassling someone, you do it in the game, and no one gets hurt.
Well, I think everybody likes to have an adventurous side to them, to ride around the countryside righting wrongs and generally living it up. And it's got much the same appeal as the myths and all the other legends. It's just got that romantic appeal that you can ride free and be a hero.